Joe Biden's pretty famous for his hands-on approach. We've all seen the photos of him hugging, kissing, and apparently even sniffing women as they squirm with looks of discomfort on their faces. But a recent revelation might well throw the presidential hopeful into a credibility crisis.
I'm wondering what a staffer would do besides go to the press in Washington. My daughter has just left there after working for a prominent senator and could not get through with her problems at all.
This is apparently the voice of Tara Reade's mother, and the problems she's referring to are accusations of sexual assault her daughter made against Joe Biden back in 1993, when he was still senator for Delaware.
I was up against the wall, and I remember the coldness of the wall, and I remember his hands underneath my blouse and underneath my skirt, and his fingers penetrating me as he was trying to kiss me, and I was pulling away.
If you haven't heard of her, I'm not surprised. It took almost 3 weeks for much of the media to bother to report Reade's allegations. And when they finally got round to it, it was fairly clear whose side they fell on.
No other allegation about sexual assault surfaced in the course of reporting, nor did any former Biden staff members corroborate any details of Ms. Reade's allegation. The Times found no pattern of sexual misconduct by Mr. Biden.
The Times not finding any pattern of sexual misconduct is confusing, since in the same article it states that 7 other women have accused Biden of unwanted touching. Also confusing is why a few crucial words were removed. When asked about that edit, this was the response.
The Biden campaign thought that the phrasing was awkward and made it look like there were other instances in which he had been accused of sexual misconduct.
Why the Times apparently altered its editorial content at the behest of the Biden campaign is anyone's guess. But then again, this is not the first time the media has whitewashed the presidential hopeful's character. Previous incidents of inappropriate behavior were often chalked down to Uncle Joe being born in a different era.
I shake hands, I hug people, I grab men and women by the shoulders and say, you can do this. And whether they're women, men, young, old, it's the way I've always been. It's the way I've tried to show I care about them and I'm listening. Social norms have begun to change, they've shifted, and the boundaries of protecting personal space have been reset. And I get it. I get it.
Just as the media was satisfied by this apology back then, it seems they're also taking at face value Biden's denial of the Reade allegations now. He's not faced the scrutiny one would expect since the story broke in late March. Nor did Reade receive the support one might expect when she turned to Time's Up. That's the non-profit organisation set up to help survivors tell their stories.
Not one time did they talk about the payments that were made to the Joe Biden campaign. One attorney said, we've met as a firm, and we have decided there is no legal strategy to safely tell your story because it's Joe Biden.
It may be worth mentioning that Biden's campaign advisor, Manita Dunn, is managing director of the organization's legal fund. While these things have largely gone unquestioned, no one has wasted time in doing a deep dive into Tara Reade's history, and they hit gold, finding an article now presented as evidence that she's a Russian agent and so, apparently by extension, a liar.
Read this Love Fest for Putin by Alexandra Tara Reade. Is this the same person who just made an accusation against Joe Biden? If so, this game's up.
This woman is a traitor, and Russia will do whatever it takes to keep Trump in office. They put him there in the first place.
Unsurprisingly, the right-wing media, for its own reasons, has compared the left's indulgent approach to Biden to its character assassination of Brett Kavanaugh. They've drawn attention to how documents prove Tara Reade worked as a staffer under Biden. And the emergence of this latest Larry King call-in seemingly corroborates that she did, in fact, tell people about the incident back in 1993. Not just her mother, but a brother and friend who have both since confirmed they knew. Christine Blasey Ford was unable to present any such evidence against Kavanaugh, and yet no time was wasted in throwing out the innocent until proven guilty motto. And guess who else was apparently willing to throw out their unshakable values? Alyssa Milano, the founder of the Me Too movement, and who, by the way, is still endorsing Biden for president.
I just don't feel comfortable throwing away a decent man that I've known for 15 years in this time of complete chaos without there being a thorough investigation.
I stand in solidarity with Christine Blasey Ford.
So, the rule seemingly is stand with every woman, unless they're threatening the chances of the only horse in the race who can unseat Trump and who you're betting on.
Legal and media analyst Lionel told us the lack of consistency is stunning to him.
I know firsthand that the media have shown an almost superhuman interest in everything that President Trump has ever done in any event, in any avenue, in every aspect or corner of his life. They leave nothing unturned. Nothing is too far. Nothing is too extreme. All right? So that's the standard. Yet, when you said, could we please apply that level of scrutiny to Joe Biden? No. Could we look at his life the same way you would look at the president? No. Could we apply roughly the same standards? No. Why? Because President Trump and the Republicans are on one standard, Joe Biden's over here, and the media support Joe Biden. That simple. The American public the most, there is no other voice. So if there's no other voice, the left can say whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They can show a dissimilarity of treatment. They can completely ignore her altogether, which they have.